Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdeya da Costa. I live in the Bo-Kaap. I was born and bred here in this very house. My mother gave birth to this little baby, and it was a fat little baby. And my mother was very proud to have me as Bonnie child. And I was brought up my father was Imam of the Palm Tree Mosque, in Long Street. He was Imam and Sheikh, and he taught at home also. He taught at home in our passage. They had benches there. We didn't have a lot of chairs. They had benches, and he taught people. Oh, and he performed the Tamat ceremony in the Kapini Street Mosque. And Imam Bihadin, I think, was the person who questioned, what do you call that? He said, okay, fine. And there was a whole lot of joy, when anybody achieved something here where we lived. I didn't live anywhere else, so I know I lived here. There was a whole lot of unity and casual relationships, one with the other. That's why if they say, oh, Lima wat trou. Ja, net my gaan na Lima is my best friend, so that was that relationship. And that's why we are still, in a way, we are still used to that kind of relation. That's why we're not scared, but I hope not, inshallah, that the Bo-Kaap will change its racist, what's the name? And remain, and we will be there to help where we can. If there is a need for somebody who's iemand gaan nou miskien tamat kan hierdie geld gee want as jy met dit te sadaqah moet in 'n papiertjie. Gee jy sadaqah. That's why they still give a little sadaqah if we go to sort of a function, and it's an Islamic function, and then they give them a little sadaqah. They will all remember die ek nog gekry het. Is it like a donation? Sadaqah is a donation in Malaysian, yeah, in Malaysian. Because, yeah.
And how old are you, Abdeya?
I will be.
How old are you now?
Happy birthday, 99. I'm 99.
And you will be 100 in December.
In December, the 7th of December, yes. Abdeya will be 100. Abdeya will be 100. And I can say Abdeya, alhamdulillah, had a good inner life. That's why the people is gesê, ek het nie nog gereis nie vir miskien vir 'n gawe, bietjie reis. As die sê, boks moet reis. Is hy genoeg?
Those were the days.
We remember, and we went to work with our own businesses, alhamdulillah, with success. I had Kenwell Center in one city, Maynard Mall, Sea Point, 4 shops, and then another one that I was, when I went to give up, and then I had somebody who was sort of like a partner, but it was just, yeah. And so I remember, and if I'm not going to be here anymore, or not in this area anymore, don't say here anymore, I don't know. But if I'm not going to be here, then I have good memories. Now we can always talk, and we can share that, the memories we can share, and take us back to that time. Now this was not a double-story house. I wanted a new house, and I bought land. I bought land in the Upper Pepper Street, and then also in Hood Road, Rondebosch. I bought land, and I pictured again there a nice smart house, and then with ladies, special ladies classes, and I would choose one of the ladies in the area, upper Dorp Street. Yeah, upper Dorp Street. And there's still a lot of beautiful dreams that can materialize. Beautiful dreams. But the people who have laid the foundations with the imams and sheikhs, they were all there. You know? And kom hulle aan met hulle burgers en what's his name? Kom hulle skop skoene uit. And in the small room, sit hulle almal daar. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Ek het presies nou. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Nabi, salam alayka. Ya Rasul, salam alayka. Salawatulam alayka. Sallallahu ala Muhammad. You know,
And Haji Abdeya wrote a book, a poetry book. And she remembers the first poem that she wrote, and it was called
yes. The melting pot of nations, of cultures far and wide, of merging minds and values to a new era abide. The restless soul forever searching for new adventures in its realm, the energies of life forever connecting like the melodies of Orpheum. The ethos of nations is varied and rich, grows richer when cultures are shared. To appreciate the value of other traditions without your own values impaired.
lovely.
You know, we share, people used to share, they used to write, the little things that they used to write. Ja, my moeder kom oor, jy weet wat ek gaan doen net. The share. Sharing was a very important thing amongst them. That is why we could still have the same labels.
Yes.
You can still have the same labels with the community spirit. You know. And I hope, inshallah, one day, this very area, if it comes to fundraising and so on, we can ask anybody who wants to do anything. We have a little group of fundraisers that is recognized by people in the group, and then there will be secretaries and there will be all, so they can check, you know, people can check, and then we can have little things. Say, for instance, a little ladies fundraising towards Palestinians and workers and this. Then we have something, you know. Then we know as het gesit in die kleine kamertjie so en as het gepicture and imagine, and here we are. En dan sê dat iemand wat weer wil in Makkah gaan leer and so on. And we can sort of, you know, a verbal contribution first, praat and so on, and try to Cape Point, no? It was just in the Cape, and that there will be something that is worth showing. This was in the time when your name. No, your name. Shireen, yeah. You see, no, this is getting.
Yeah.
Shireen is sitting here, and
another Shireen.
Another Sheikh Yusuf, and another Sheikh Yusuf. So we must try to imagine the people who live overseas. They hear about Sheikh Yusuf and Guru and all that. Like my brother, he's a school teacher in London, and he married a lady who was born in Spain, in one of those islands, and they say the people, when you have a little dues like this and so on, and they would talk about the times when they were born and how they grew up and hoe ze gaan en ons moet nog sisters gaan verkopen. Ja, was een sheikh. Marani, but they spin their hearts. You know what I mean? This is
and the basket with cook sisters.
Yeah, and but what the bathroom? What?
When you go and sell cook sisters in the basket from house
Oh,
to
in the basket.
house.
Then you come from school, and the woman says, "Abdeya, je klaar? Kom maar, koop cook sisters." She's in a good girl, where the office work and so was my sisters. And yes, and I thought, wonder why, but I always had my dreams. And my dreams, alhamdulillah, was fulfilled. Because if I think, I pictured people walking up and down, tourists taking, that was still, tourists started quite early.
Yes.
And the tourists taking the houses and so on. So one day I said, well, and they're looking at the stoop in the house outside. I said, would you like to go inside? And she said, what was then? This was not a double story, this was a single story. And I said to my husband, I think it's time, I said, I've worked hard enough now, it's time for me to deserve a double story. And that night, so my husband said, well, if I want to, you can call in the architect and so on. And then I bought ground in Hood Road, Crawford. And now I'm dreaming about this double-story house, you know, it's something to show, you know. And
well, she lives in a very important house right next to the ALMAL.
yes.
And this house holds a lot of history.
Yes.
Of the first madrasas.
Yes.
The
Yes.
first madrasas.
Yes.
That your father used to teach here, and the benches all over.
Yes,
you know.
it has history. So you know, people are now well versed in history and so on.
Yes.
You must say, well, I'll take a little bit from this one page, so and so, and a little bit from that one, that one. That
Yeah.
one. Because not only from those who got the documents, but for those who verbally share.
Yes. Share it. Yeah.
Share it, you know.
Because the young people need
Yeah,
to.
and then you can say you're young and you're how old are you?
27.
27, but still really young.
Yeah.
And your name again?
Tyron.
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 T-H.
No.
T-Y.
Tyron.
Tyron.
Yeah.
Tyron. Tyron, what was he? Was it Tyron? Tyron.
That's why I say he's.
Bullfighter.
Yeah. He's got a Roman name.
Yes, a bullfighter. When I was in Spain, was it Spain? No? I was in Spain, and I said to my husband is still alive, and I said to him, I want to go to the northern suburbs, and see for myself what I can feel, the senses. I can feel the senses, because when you get there, you feel again that those bulls are fighting.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
they don't do it anymore.
No, they go for what is there as jewelry and so on.
Yes.
But
you took a boat trip with your husband.
I took a boat trip on the Canberra. Yes, on the Canberra. Yes, and I met, and I was sitting at the dinner table, and then
remember?
Yes, the dinner table, yes. And they came, the waiters came and said, they were to send the head waiter around to us. They must have discussed it that we know something. They came to our table. My dinner table is near to the kitchen. This is easy because if they carry more, they can have more space, you know. And then we told them a little, and they were going to call the head waiter. And then they called us to the office, you know. Can we tell them more? And I told them what we know. It didn't show in the but we sharing. This is sharing. It teaches you to be and responsible, because you must see at the head table, and you must see there's nothing falling on the floor and so on, you know. And you learn discipline. You teach yourself discipline. You learn discipline first. You learn discipline, and then you teach yourself what you can learn. That's why people say, oh, ek het lekker getravel. But the lekker getravel, it means also they learn something. You know, they learn something. Exactly. And so my mother lived here, and my father died, and then my mother, and she reared us, you know, so on. Yes.
How many children?
We were 4 girls and 2 boys.
Okay.
Now there's one boy still alive. He's still overseas.
How old is he?
He can be.
Oh, he passed away.
He passed away.
recently.
Yes, he passed away.
Oh, how
But
old is he?
he was the youngest, so he was in his.
In his 80s.
Yeah, it's around about 80s and so on. So you pick up little bits of information here and there, and then you go again and you go and confirm whether this is correct,
Yes.
not wrong. It's correct.
Yeah.
It's correct. Or you can change it a bit.
Okay.
Available.
Did you find a book of Abdeya?
On the poetry.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This one. This is here.
I need to.
Approved. These poems were written after my husband passed on in 2000. I am deeply grieved by the loss, as I had enjoyed 45 years of blissful marriage. For the last 23 years of our married life, my husband had suffered the effects of a stroke. Fortunately, I'm without my glasses, I'm not going to struggle with it.
Okay.
My husband passed on in 2000. I was deeply grieved by the loss, as I had enjoyed 45 years of blissful marriage life. For the last 23 years of our married life, my husband had suffered the effects of a stroke. Fortunately, I had left on no brain damage, and so could still enjoying conversations. So we went back to a gathering, talking about family things and information. And then they spoke about Bundy, so he thought this person left something worth carrying over to other, from generation to generation. And then they did that, and they went over and they got information, and they got the real information, not van 10 jaar geleden, yeah, 10 jaar geleden, but also it was worth making that part of their history. So so it's just nice if you're doing now.